Good evening, everyone. My name is Yasmin Molina. I am part of the NV Global team, and today I am here with you to talk about the next step in the topic of marketing. And that step is the business explanation. We are going to see everything concerning the business explanation or business presentation. Ready? Let's start here. Give me a second. The business explanation. This is the second step, as I was telling you, in the process we undertake when we want to make our business known. Ready? What is the content? All right. The content in part 1, we will see what the general characteristics of the business presentation are of the explanation of a business. In part 2, we will look at the structure of an explanation and example because this is adaptable to what you need. In part 3, we will look at the benefits. In part 4, the challenges, and in the final part, some conclusions. To begin, in order to start with this explanation or business presentation, we need to be clear that we are entering a business in nervous marketing. Ready? Which is a business model where we have the possibility to generate income by recommending products or services, okay? While we make that recommendation, we have the possibility to generate income. Ready? To generate income, and we start building a network of people. How is that network of people built? Well, this network of people is built because the idea is to find people who do the same as us, duplication of information, who start using the service or product to generate volume, okay? Volume of what? Well, volume of income, and thus the product or service is given usability, okay? What characteristics does web marketing have? Well, that's a great possibility. It's a window that was opened with the topic of technological advances and was further enhanced by the pandemic. Okay? Post-pandemic topics opened up. The pandemic left, although it had consequences, it also left many benefits, among them that people enhanced their vision towards network marketing and working from home. Okay? You don't need to have employees. You don't manage inventories or physical facilities. It's a flexible business. Flexible in what? Flexible in time, flexible in space. You manage your schedule. You work as you prefer. You choose your niche. You create your entire business plan. You develop your strategy. Ready, and you can do it from anywhere in the world. Another characteristic of network marketing is that it has a low investment cost. Obviously, there are people who do it as investors, of course, but if you want to develop the network, if you want to build a community, you don't need a large investment because what you need to move is volume. It's about doing the same thing over and over, duplicating and duplicating the information, recommending and recommending so that more people do the same. Obviously, within this process, there will always be someone who says, no, I don't like duplicating. That's not for me. I prefer to invest. I am an investor, but to be an investor, you need to have a solid financial core and substantial capital, which is what most people don't have at the moment. An effective cash flow or a base where they can say, yes, I have this money and I'm willing to bet it, to invest it, and well, to lose it, right? Because that's what an investment is. When you're willing to invest, you have two options. You either lose or win. Ready? Or very possibly, you recover your investment. But you have those three possibilities. Okay? So when you find an investor, it's also very good because it generates volume for you and also helps your growth process in the market. Ready? And another characteristic they have is that it requires effort, dedication, and an entrepreneurial mindset. You need to have a hunger for success. It's as simple as that. You need to have a vision. You need to have a clear objective that keeps you focused all the time on what you want to achieve, where your goal is so that you don't stray from it. And if any obstacle or failure presents itself along the way, you have the resilience to get up, start again, and keep going. Ready? That means generating credibility. Credibility in yourself and credibility in the people who initially placed their trust in you. For this, it's important to be clear. We will see this later on. One of the conditions is to have clarity and be very honest with what we are going to say. We cannot sell people things that will not be fulfilled because that creates false expectations and will never generate that trust between the work team and you. Ready? And another thing about network marketing is that it offers continuous education, mentorship, and support. So what is the idea of the network? That people not only come to sell, to build volume, to form a team, and all the time it's money, 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 and this and 300. No. We are more than that. The network is multidimensional and allows you to see that there are other dimensions of the human being that need to be developed. Ready? That is the case with education. That's what we are doing. We are implementing all these trainings so that you have the opportunity, because there are new people. There are people who already know, for whom this is not their first business, who already have the ability to start again, who have done a business in the past, whether it was functional or even if it wasn't functional, but they have the experience. There are other people who are just now getting the opportunity to enter this world, and the idea is to guide them. The idea is to provide them with the possibility that even if they don't have the knowledge, they don't come with the expertise, they can develop these skills and discover the potential they have within. All right, let's talk about now. Let's get into the subject, which is a business explanation. A business explanation is a brief, concise, clear, and straightforward presentation where you tell the person how the business opportunity works, which is based on network marketing. It's simply that, in a business presentation, you aim to explain to the person what your business is about, what it entails, and what its objective is, but in a clear, concise, and compelling manner, so that the person has the chance to fall in love at first sight with what they are hearing. It can't be too lengthy because the person will get bored. We, as people, tend to be very emotional. So if it connects with us, it creates a click. Immediately, we head in that direction. If someone presents us with a business that sounds appealing to us, we immediately take action, join, and get involved. If we don't like it, if we don't connect, then we start with, yes, but wait, I'll confirm later. I'll call you afterwards. Don't call us, we'll call you basically. Therefore, it should be a short presentation, but very rich, where you have the opportunity to generate empathy with the person, and that emotion leads them to become part of your team, to fall in love with that vision, and to commit with you to achieve that goal. What is the goal, or what are the goals? The main goal is what I was saying. We need to spark interest, make the person see, make the person fall in love with that business, to see the possibility of generating an income, to see the possibility of generating or finding that financial freedom we all seek, or that freedom of time, which is also what people sometimes look for. We seek freedom of time because normally a job consumes 8 hours, where we have to perform a function, plus the hours we spend commuting to and from work, right? Here in my country, the traffic is quite complex, and there are people who spend 2-3 hours going and 2-3 hours returning. So it would be 8 hours plus 6, making 14, and with 24 hours in a day, only 10 hours remain, of which we sleep 8, leaving 2 to spend with family. Generally, work is from Sunday to Sunday with a compensatory day during the week, which usually means there's no one to share it with, because when one rests, others are doing other things, fulfilling their duties, like our children who are students. Ready? What secondary objectives do we have? Well, our secondary objective is to show how income is generated within the system, to make the person broadly understand and become curious about how income is generated. We need to explain the product or service, how it is marketed, okay? And finally, present the company that supports us in the business. We generally always have a company that is backing the product or service we are providing, as is the case for us. For example, here we are going to relate what we are doing with Global. Global is a technology company that combines blockchain technology with highly profitable financial products. And in addition to that, it gives us the opportunity to develop leadership and network marketing, the marketing network, okay? So here we are presented with the dilemma, right? Because there are people who say, no, that's a pyramid scheme, that's a Ponzi scheme. You also need to develop that argument so you can defend yourself from that. That is a stigmatization, a prejudice that people have. There have been so many good and bad businesses that have left a mark on people. And generally, we people remain, we understand that it went wrong for us. So, no, that's a pyramid scheme, that's a Ponzi scheme. No, this is not a Ponzi scheme, it is not a pyramid scheme. Why is it not a pyramid scheme? Because we are not asking you for a sum of money, nor obligating you to bring people. This is voluntary, it's at your own discretion. It's a very small investment that you have the ability to enhance as you develop other people. because it's not just your growth. That's what's beautiful about it. The compensation plan and the development of the company obligate you in a way that in order to advance and receive your bonuses. For leadership, you must help others advance with you as well. A Ponzi scheme, no. A Ponzi scheme requires you to make an investment and obligates you to bring in 2 or 3 more people, no matter what. And the same for those 3. 3 enter, those 3 have to become 6. Those 6 then continue multiplying in the same way, and it is not sustainable because for that very reason, the day you don't bring in people, there are no earnings, there's no money to pay those at the bottom to those at the top. I have a discussion about this with many people in my family, many people who argue about political topics. I say that here in Colombia, I come from Colombia, the biggest Ponzi scheme that exists is the healthcare system and the pension system in my country. Here, women used to retire at 52 years old, about 10 years ago or so, and there was a reform, and well, there have been a series of changes where they have been increasing the time, increasing the weeks, so that it becomes increasingly difficult for you to achieve the pension. And there is or was a gap in the past where people were allowed to receive between 2 to 3 pensions, right? That obviously creates a deficit in the end. I mean, as young people, we already see that we are not going to achieve it because our goal is not a job, not to be employees all our lives. So we stop contributing. And then a gap is created where there is no longer any capital. There is no capital, and what are they doing? They are forcing us to contribute to the pension in order to access health services. What does that mean? That is the most tangible proof that there is no money to pay those who are already retired, and what they want is to take from us to be able to pay them. Now it is being discussed. They have already realized the gap that exists. So it is being discussed that a person can only receive 1 pension. Before, if I have my spouse, I passed away and was retired, that pension would go to my spouse, which was how it was before. Now, they are thinking of abolishing that. Why? For the same reason. Because the state has already realized that it represents capital that does not exist. Those people who contributed for so many years, it used to be 20 years of their life, working, going back and forth and keeping a schedule. Well, they actually have nothing because their money isn't there. There's nothing to pay them with. That's why another source of income must be found, and it's by forcing us to pay the pension. Oh, right? That's the topic I like to discuss here with the people from my country. Whenever they bring up the Ponzi scheme, they say it's a pyramid. No, it is a pyramid. Because I'm not forcing you to bring anyone, because there's no bigger Ponzi than the one set up by the government, which is the state itself that is currently receiving those consequences and now looking for solutions. Ready? There, I already told you a little about the general politics of Colombia, okay? About the gap we have. Now, what are the keys to an excellent business presentation? Well, they are quite simple. The first is that it should be, do you have 20 to 30 minutes? For what? To capture a person's attention and achieve that connection, that click. If you manage to make that click in that time, the person immediately tells you they're in, even if they don't have the money. Because that's how we are as people. We are emotional. So we fall in love with that vision and we go for it. There are people who say, it doesn't matter, I'll learn along the way, I don't know, but I'm going there. And that's how they start to work. Why? Because they have that hunger for success. They have that void, and they have that desire to find a way out of the system, to what we have always had. Ready? Oops, I left. Hello, hello. Can you hear me? Wow, what happened? Just a second. Sorry about that. Here we have a technical issue. All right. And here we go. We're back. Sorry about that. I think it's the internet. So then when it is brief, we should use a visual medium. There are people who like to listen, and there are others who prefer to see. All right. That's not there, but I already have it in my mental notes. For example, in this case, what I'm using with you, I'm using this presentation. You can use a presentation, you can use a video. The video has both things. It is auditory and visual. anything that takes up that short time and you can explain impactfully to the person. And the next thing you need to do is make it duplicable. That's another advantage of network marketing. You do the work once, you duplicate it, and you make it work for you. Ready? The same thing happens with money. You invest it once, make it grow, and make it work for you. Over and over again, over and over again. Okay? These are the keys to an excellent business presentation. What is structure for the application? Structure of a business presentation application that has one. The structure of a business presentation. Ready. This is general. You can adapt it, change it according to your preferences. Each of these parts lasts 2 to 3 minutes. More or less, you calculate to complete the 20 or 30 minutes that are effective and to the point. A personal introduction. Who are you and why are you in the business? If you have seen, and it's not the first time you are in this business, in any other that has been presented to you, the person will always try to connect with you from an emotional standpoint by telling their story, a part of their story, and they will tell you why they are doing it. In the case of most of us, we are seeking financial freedom or the freedom of time to manage that valuable resource, which is time with our families. What is the next thing you need to do? Explain the company and its backing. Explain the entire legal framework. That also makes us different from a Ponzi scheme. In a Ponzi scheme, they simply tell you to bring the money, bring to others, period. That's it. Here, in the companies, we manage companies that handle registrations. For example, in the case of NV Global, we have registrations in Hong Kong. And we have registrations in Russia, if I'm not mistaken. My mind is in Hong Kong and I'm leaving the other one right now. I apologize for that, but it slips my mind because of the nerves keep me alive. But we have 2 registrations. There are registrations in 2 countries. Ready? And obviously, as this is a company that is expanding, as more countries open up, there will be a need to adjust to these policies and also to start registering in other countries. Ready? What products or services does it have? So at this moment in NV Global, we have many live ones are concerned with developing their own ecosystem. For example, that's what we need to explain. We have an ecosystem based on a card that is being developed with MasterCard logo support. You can use it in any store that accepts this type of card. We have our own wallet called NV Wallet. It has an encrypted chat, for example, where you can communicate with other people in your own network and no one will find out because it's encrypted. Likewise, the transactions are faster and more effective so that people can use it within the community, generate volume, and thus have a commission margin that will be distributed among the same community. And we also have our exchange called BITNEVEX, which currently has the support of another company that also has legal backing. The idea is to create something like Binance, to become a Binance, but for the entire community in BIP Global. Ready? We have other gambling products that are being developed. There are lottery games and many more things in development, a mini guide, and we handle the futures products. Ready? There is trading operation, which is in futures. How is the money made? So here you need to be clear in explaining if there is direct sales, how much commission you have, if there is a referral bonus, also if you have income. Residuals, which are very interesting because you will earn every time the network sells. So this is exponential, and you stay at home one day and receive a commission because another person who is part of your team is doing the work. You don't get the same percentage, but you will receive money that neither bothers you nor is extra. And yes, it is part of that leadership you developed in the past. By that time, it will already be in the past. And also, if we have leadership bonuses here in this company, we have them all. And finally, trips and prizes. So everything that is planned in terms of prizes for the company to become known. Okay? I want to take a small pause here. I won't take long on this because we have little time. We must make way for the 8 o'clock presentation, to which I invite you to stay. Hello, everyone. Very interesting, very powerful. A leader is coming who has done an excellent job for you to get to know. Here is the example.
Hello.
Testimonials.
Today is my birthday.
We congratulate you. Thank you.
Oh.
We are in Turkey, Antalya, in Uden Park, behind the rock.
A path, a difficult path, clearing the way. For those who come behind, when we have traveled this path, we reached the source, strengthened our faith in the company, and now we are ready to share with you the information we received Do you want to add something?
Yes, of course. I want to thank the company NV Global and, of course, Erican, an honest, wise person. He's like a father. To me, he is like a father. First of all, he is an adult, an incredible person. I could speak now about him only with good words. Well, briefly, the company has been in the market for a year and a half. It is registered precisely in Turkey. It offers the opportunity to active business partners to be present, as Tatiana says, at the source, which opened the way for us.
All right, gentlemen, there you have an example. We have a clear example of a testimony. These are testimonies that we have on the Global Camp page. All right, they are everything they have. All the information is in Russian. We have taken on the task of translating it into Spanish, translating it into English. And at this moment, we are implementing more languages because we have reached more countries. All right. This is an example of testimonials that create impact within a business presentation. Here we have an example of the awards given by the company.
We are about to experience a very, very enriching experience. And with the company NV Global, you will have the tools and everything you need to start generating financial results and begin to grow in all areas of your life. But it is extremely important that you attend our training in May 2025. You must be here in Antalya, Turkey, experiencing a unique and enriching experience. Through these experiences, you will begin to grow financially, creating a community that truly understands the vision of the owner and the leaders. You have two ways to achieve it. You can arrive with everything absolutely covered, with tickets paid, hotel paid, training paid, if you reach the goal alongside us. But if not, you must also make an effort to be with us in this excellent training. Please do not miss the opportunity to grow financially and in personal development. It's about connecting with the company's vision. What are you going to do to make things happen for your family? I want you to understand.
All right, there were my examples to explain the ways. How to explain, how to present a business, the success stories, and finally the call to attention, the call for the person to take action and start doing it. That is one of the motivations those testimonials show them, that if another person could do it, why wouldn't I be able to achieve it? For example, why would I stop doing limit myself and hold back if I have the same capabilities? Perhaps even more. There are people who develop certain skills more than others. It's just that we have them hidden because we live in a system or have been designed that way. To be within the system, to fit into the system, have a perfect job that is 8 hours long, pays us well, and have a family. That's all we have to do, get up early from Monday to Friday, hope to rest on a Saturday or Sunday, or maybe half a day on a Saturday. That's all we are educated for. Here, our possibilities expand. Doesn't that seem great? Having the possibility to help others develop while also getting to know the world as they are being educated, I find it wonderful. I think it's great. Totally enviable from every point of view, right? Who doesn't want to be traveling? Who doesn't want to go around the world? Now we have a series of key questions that we can develop within the presentation to create that connection with people. What are those key questions? We have reflective questions. For example, are you 100% satisfied with your current situation, with what you earn, the time you have, the lifestyle you lead? That leads people to reflect, to immediately introspect and say, damn, no, I don't feel good. All right, you ask another one, you keep developing the presentation, you create a warm environment, you build that trust, but you keep asking these questions to leave that curiosity, to plant that little seed of doubt within the person and help them make the decision to take action, to live this adventure and say, I'm going to go for it because I want to change, because I want something different. If you had more time and money, what would you do differently in your life? What wouldn't we do? Even you yourselves can start asking, you can start answering, sorry. Would it be good for you to earn $300 to $500 a month? Or maybe more? That can be in a residual or a bonus. Well, there's a little mistake there. $300 to $500 extra dollars a month without stopping what you're doing. In addition to what you're already doing, you don't have to quit your job. At first, you're not going to say to yourself, I quit, I'm going. I leave everything, right? Because we have obligations, and in a way we take a risk, but it scares us. So you don't have to leave what you're doing. You can do it in parallel, because remember, this is a flexible business, okay? Flexible in time. Now you have a plan B, an alternative source of income in case something happens. There are people who manage a saving system. There are people who have investments in other things. There are people who have scheduled savings or CDs, any other things, securities, bank assets, in order to have a backup. Another question is, how would you like life to be in a year if everything depended on you? How would you like to change it, your life and your family's life? Are you open to learning something new if it can improve your quality of life? That's when the person starts to reflect. What caught your attention the most about this presentation? This is a closing question. At the end of the presentation, always, without fail, you must ask the person what caught their attention the most, so that the person can tell you and give you a chance right from the start to keep reinforcing what the person wants. The person says, well, what caught my attention was earning residual bonuses without giving up what I'm currently doing. Wonderful, perfect. You don't have to stop doing it. We are going to develop. You are going to educate yourself. You will keep learning. You will develop the skill and you will keep doing it. As you start earning, you can decide whether you want to continue with both things or if this is truly your path and you want to dedicate yourself to it. Okay? Those are the key questions we have. What are the benefits of a good business explanation? If you do the job well once, you will have the opportunity to open the person's mind, to break inside that traditional system that has always been sold to us, which is the key to success. And what we should do, we break schemes, we break paradigms, and we give people the opportunity to take control of their lives, to move forward, to flow, to emerge in a different way that is not what the system has always told you to do. Okay? You will connect with the dreams of those people, with the emotions. It's not just about saying you will be filled with money. No, they will put, I repeat, we are emotional. We are driven by emotions. And in that search or finding those emotions and asking ourselves those questions leads us to perhaps find our purpose. We never know. People get used to living in their routine and rarely or never ask themselves these questions. You just talk to someone and they complain and live contentedly, but they don't say, I'm going to do something else. I'm going to step out of that scheme. And when you present them with the opportunity, that door opens, that light of hope opens up. And the person says, I'm going to do it and I'm going without fear and I'm going to take the plunge because I have nothing more to lose except perhaps the small investment I make. But I have a lot to gain. I have the possibility to develop rewards, to develop skills, to develop others, to contribute to helping other people also break out of this system. If we do it over and over again, if we duplicate it, as is being done right now, the expansion will be exponential and we will reach and impact many lives. That is something we are going to do. Position network marketing, make it professional, in a professional manner, develop it as if you had studied the career at university. What will this do? Increase credibility in this system, in this business model. Not just that people think they should continue with it because it's good, but when you do it professionally and the change comes in you, people learn from the example. Says our president, the person who is at the head of this business, there is no better way or no other way to teach than by example. That's how we learn as children. That's how we learn in middle age. That's how we learn everything we know. We learn by seeing what I see others do. Sometimes I learn it, copy it, duplicate it, and improve it. For what? To develop myself as a person, to adapt it for me, to make it functional for me. And why not share that knowledge with others so they can do exactly the same? Ready? What other benefits do we have? Communication skills are developed. There are people who are introverted. There are people who are shy. And it turns out that they come to this business, they start falling in love with it, they learn, they get to know the world, they interact with more people, they have knowledge in another language, but they don't practice it. And here, the door opens, the range of possibilities for the person to develop a leadership that allows them to develop all those capacities and skills, perhaps innate, that they have but have never worked on. Ready? Another possibility, or what other benefit is there in being with the right people? Here in this business, you meet an endless variety of people. You meet so many, and I have always been a supporter of the idea that we are all a different world. Between each person, there is a world that we should give ourselves the opportunity to know. Sometimes we have greater empathy with other people. We become friends, we become partners, and suddenly this business might not work out, but it creates a trust in you, a generation of trust in me, and we will do something else. It could be another network business, it could be a traditional business, anything else, but you will develop that skill of meeting more people, interacting with more people, and making yourself known in all those dimensions that we need to fulfill. Ready? And finally, we have duplication of results. All this work that is done, if done well once, will generate duplication for you it will give you the possibility for other people to use it and duplicate it. Ready? That's what we are doing. For example, this training will remain there. As I was saying, it will stay on YouTube so you can use it as study material. Here, many of you who are interested in developing, it might not be this business, it could be any other. I'm just bringing it up because it's the tangible example we have at this moment, perceptible for us to present to you. And for you to take it, to duplicate it, and you will take what you like, what you prefer, and make it practical and put it into practice in your life. It's the challenge. What challenges do we have with network marketing? Well, first is breaking prejudices. As I tell you, people always say, but that's a Ponzi scheme, that doesn't work, that's a scam. It's not like that because we have the backing of legality. Did you see it in the video? The registration is in Turkey and in Hong Kong. We generate income. The challenge is to show how income is generated without it being complicated. This as it is. What does it refer to? To the compensation systems. Ready? Many times it's not easy, but you can develop Excel tables that are very dynamic. They explain how it's done, how much you earn, then you don't give it, how much you earn by referring, how much you earn residually. All of that can be used, can be grouped in an Excel table and made easier for the person to understand. Suddenly it's a part that in this step of network marketing is not seen in such depth because maybe you need to sit down and review a little more to develop in the person to understand how this compensation plan works. But at first glance, we have to present it with examples and in a very practical way so that people understand it, see it, and handle large numbers and figures. Because this allows you to have a very high goal, a standard you must reach, which is at the top of the peak and is what you must achieve. And the challenge is duplicability, making it simple and effective. Once it is repeated constantly, consistently, and reaches any part of the world because now technology gives us that possibility and there it expands. They use it and continue duplicating it so that more people have the opportunity to join, to do the same, to grow and develop as individuals. We must avoid false expectations, as I mentioned, be inspiring but without ceasing to be realistic. So it's not about doing what Ponzi schemes do. Invest once and triple in 8 days. Bring 2 people and triple in 8 days. That is a false expectation. You are going to earn 50, 60%. We need to talk about realistic topics, inspire people to be better, but without ceasing to be realistic. And finally, the challenge is to create an emotional connection. It's not just about coming here to stand and give a flat presentation where I tell you to bring people, develop yourself, be a leader. You have bonuses, you have this and that without conveying anything. The idea is to convey an emotion. The idea is to get to know each other. The idea is to develop as a team because it will be your community. It will be the team that follows you wherever you go. If you reach the top, everyone reaches the top behind you, right? If you don't make it, they will encourage you to try again, to get up and try again, okay? All right, gentlemen, in conclusion, well, you don't need large amounts of money nor the qualities of a speaker because these are skills that are developed, okay? But you do need a fervent desire, a burning desire deep in your heart that tells you, go for it. We're going to achieve it, right? Train yourself, educate yourself, because people also have that mental laziness, right? That I want to do the business, but I only want to put in the money and sit back with a fan and wait to become a millionaire or wait for others to do it. No. If you are a leader, if you came here and if you have the conviction to do it, man, you must train yourself because it's the example. What you do will be followed by your team. They will follow if you sit and do nothing. The team will do the same. This happens everywhere. If I have a boss in a traditional business who does nothing, then I also look for a way to fulfill my 8 hours without giving my 100%, yeah. But so that on the 15th or at the end of the month, the cash register rings, I go and collect my salary and continue in the same race, in the same routine, being mediocre, being dissatisfied, and there, waiting for others to do it, to carry me along, doing what I have to, what exclusively, the only thing it says, what my employment contract says. And well, that's not the idea. The idea for us, for people, for us humans, is to move forward. We develop as people, develop skills, and it should be everyone's purpose to help and contribute to others also moving forward. Finally, network marketing is a tool. It's a vehicle that helps us boost any business. This is applicable to anything in your lives. Even for a product, we could be ourselves. You could try the experiment at home. That could be a practical exercise. How would you sell yourself as an employee? Or yes, as an employee if you want to be one. In 20 minutes? What would you say? What need would you fulfill for someone to hire you and say, I need you to be part of my company? Or how would you sell yourself to Big Global, to the people you want to be part of your team? What advantages do I have? What do I offer them? What do I bring to the table to make this business a success? Ready, gentlemen. I don't know if you have any questions. This is what I had for you today. Please do not disconnect. Do not miss these training sessions that we have prepared at this time for you. As I mentioned, we started on Monday. We had 3 days of prospecting training because it's a slightly more practical, slightly denser topic, which, if done well, just like if we do the business presentation well, it guarantees us resounding success, right? I'm going to look at the questions here. Maritza Ruiz, do you provide support for investments for tax returns? No, ma'am. No, ma'am. And do I lose money? Well, that's one. That's a vice level that I mentioned at the beginning, Maritza. I don't know if you heard me or if you connected, but that goes within the non-generation is one of the requirements we have for a good presentation, not creating false expectations from this entry that although you're not going to lose because it depends 100% on you. I already told you the minimum investment is $50. From there on, you set the limit. The cap on your earnings is set by you. You say, I want to earn 100, you earn 100. Ready? But it's an investment. It's an investment where you take the risk. You won't lose because in addition to this, the magic of this business lies in the fact that the CEO of the company has the ideology of helping us all move forward. And that license you start with will generate an 8% monthly. Ready? Where do you see that? Nowhere. Okay? 8%. This is not like other businesses you've seen where you pay $100 for a license and that's it. You paid and well, when the year is up, you have to pay again. No. Here you have the possibility that those $50 and with that you enter, right? You become part of the company, you get educated, you get trained, you receive rewards. If you develop leadership, then you have the possibility to receive rewards, to participate in trips, to learn, to develop yourself. And in a year, around a year, you will have a 96% profit. Ready? You don't have 100%, maybe with the 8%, but you have 96%. Doesn't that work for you? Wouldn't it sound good to you in a year? Now, I insist, Maritza, the limit is set by you. If you develop leadership, those $50 will be multiplied, tripled, quadrupled, exponentially to the X you want to put, as many times as you want. Ready? Besides, okay, here. I skipped a slide that is indeed important. It's a phrase I really like, and maybe it helps to rectify what we told Maritza. Look here, this part. The price of what you pay is the value of what you receive. You pay $50 and you have a lot of benefits that you will receive. Not only economic, you have all the support. The whole team is there. In Latin America, everything is yet to be done because we are just arriving in Latin America. Juan Manuel, who is the person leading this project, is the marketing manager for Latin America. Why? Because they developed over there in their country and hadn't seen the magnitude of the business they had in their hands. Maybe they hadn't seen it that way. A dreamer, a person who wants a leader like him is innate. He has had his falls, we have had falls, but we are getting back up. Okay? What do we have now that we didn't have before? We have the knowledge and we have the experience to not make the same mistakes again, not take false steps. Okay? To do things much better than we did in the past and to drive this company forward, making it expand, meeting and fulfilling the expectations that people have. Okay? If no one has any other questions, doubts, or concerns, that would be all from my side for now. I invite you right now at 8, we have a business presentation. The groups are ready, so please don't miss it. And here I leave you the schedule for the network marketing course. All right, prospecting invitation that already took place with Vail Escobar, which was from Monday to yesterday. The business explanation is being done by yours truly. Tomorrow we have a closing with Kelly Duzan at 7 p.m. The link will be shared through the groups. We have follow-up pending, Jim, for who will be conducting it. And we have affiliation, which is handled by Jessica Rodriguez. Ladies and gentlemen, that has been all from me. I hope I have provided valuable information to your lives that you can apply. Make it duplicable. Follow us on our social networks that are here. You can find us on YouTube, on Global, on Twitter, on Global, on Facebook, on Global, and on Global on Instagram. Ladies and gentlemen, be well. Have an excellent night. Everyone, goodbye.